The bet is already in. I think the KNC Masterpiece were stunned by this. I'm pretty surprised. It's giving me a Patriot Bills feeling, which of course burned me, even though it shouldn't have. I should have taken home my money with New England up 20 points and then peeing away that lead against Buffalo. But the Los Angeles Chargers are actually the underdogs in this game Sunday at noon on this radio station with a 9 a.m. pregame. Who is surprised by that the Cowboys are favored by 2.5?
It's 2.5 now, so it was 1.5, so it keeps going up. Then that's surprising. I don't know.
I took the Chargers already straight up.
You can't trust either team.
Official predictions Friday at 8.
Right, you can't trust either team. Can't trust them.
I know more what I'm going to get from LA, though.
Yeah, 16 points.
16 points and probably a really good defensive effort.
Yeah, you probably are.
Their defense is solid.
The problem is that they're going to score 24 points or 28 points against this Cowboy team. This Cowboys are going to score a bunch of points, too, because the offense is just cooks a lot of times. So I have no feel for this. I am, what did it say, the over-under?
The over-under is 49.5.
Woo! That's high for an LA game.
Yeah, the Chargers give up 20.
Yeah, it's very high for an LA game.
They score 22 and they give up 20.
Yeah, that's too high for an LA game. But there's nothing too high for this Cowboys team. We've talked about that. They score a lot. They allow a lot of points.
They, if you look,
not with George Pickens lately, your boy.
Lately, a good metric, a good measure, because a lot of times these teams are playing similar opponents. So when teams have played the Cowboys, they're scoring. They're right around there on the NFL schedule. They've played the Raiders as well, and they're scoring about 10 points fewer than they did against the Raiders. And the Chargers put up 31 a couple weeks ago. So about 21 for the Chargers.
I saw someone tweet that the Cowboys defense every week is basically facing Aaron Rodgers in one of his MVP years. Yeah. If you take out the average numbers of the QBs you face, now Rodgers still had like 3 points higher in each category, but it's basically prime MVP Aaron Rodgers every week in what they're doing against the Cowboys defense.
It's always a get-right game. The Cowboys are the slump buster.
Yep.
And they, in fact, I heard Schotty reference it yesterday. They've got the highest passer rating allowed in the NFL this year, just the standard across the board, and you've played some bad quarterbacks in there. It's 108. That's the passer rating that they've allowed this year.
Do you feel more confident?
Or it's 109, actually.
That the Cowboys will score 27 points against this Charger defense, or the Charger offense score 27 against this Cowboy defense?
Oh, man, that's tough. Do you have a...
Say it, repeat it again.
27. Who do you feel more confident in? The Cowboys scored 27 against them, or they scored 27 against the Cowboys?
I mean, I think...
Probably them.
Yeah, them, probably.
Them scoring 27?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So Brian Schottenheimer was at the podium yesterday. He said, look, I'm making it clear. We want to win. Is Joe Milton going to play, Coach? Schottenheimer tomorrow at 8:30. And he said, I want to win, so the plan is to play Dak the rest of the season. He was also asked about Jerry on our show Tuesday, basically putting Matt Eberflus on notice these final 3 weeks.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, Ed, we all understand the business of the National Football League. You know, I think Flus is a great coach. We have not played well enough in that area. But my biggest thing is, you know, I've been Flus. I've been through those people, you know, saying, hey, what about Schotty and this position? Yeah, that's part of it. We're used to it. So my job is to help Flus and the entire staff to come up with a great game plan and try to play the best we can these next 3 weeks. And that's what I'm committed to doing.
He should be fired for that alone.
Brian?
Flus.
Wow, Bobby turning on Schottenheimer.
No, Flus should be fired alone for that. The head coach shouldn't be sitting here talking about, like, you know, I'm going to just do the best I can to help him out. That's why you're here. You're here to help him.
It's like one of those charity programs you're seeing to, like, give during Christmas right now, like 1-800-Eberflus.
It's just
the eyes of a coordinator.
For just 50 cents a day. You could have your defensive coordinator.
You could have a Kenneth Murray replacement for just 50 cents a day.
Think about the fact
we should do an Eberflus infomercial.
Oh, my God.
The fact that he's even talking about, I'm going to try to help him and, you know, things like that. And the fact that in the middle of the season, his first coaching job, where he's also back to calling plays, the report was always about like, okay, well, now Schotty's having to spend more time in the defensive room this week, and that's probably going to be the case moving forward. It's like, this has got to be exhausting for Schotty. It's got to be exhausting for the team. That's just like, just to handle it. Why can't you handle it? And they can't. He can't.
Handle it how?
Adjust. Like, do the things to make the defense better. They are the worst defense in the NFL, like as a unit and statistically. Their talent is not the worst in the NFL. They should not be the worst defense in the NFL. The fact that they are, that's a direct reflection on the coordinator.
Broadus just texted, your bet is safe. Dallas has no answers in the secondary and no pass rush. I hope Brian was fine with me reading that. CeeDee Lamb, DNP, did not practice with an illness. Bland did not practice with a foot issue. Peyton Turner.
Everyone's sick.
Quote unquote. Phil Maffa and Josh Butler are all having their practice windows opened up as well.
Now, the only question is, do they know the answer to the Wizards riddle so that they can cross the bridge to being activated? Because Trayvon's still trying to figure out what the answer is. They don't know it yet.
Is that a Wicked reference?
Well, how good would that? That's just an anything reference. That's an old fairy tale reference. That would be pretty great if that was the whole reason why. It's like they're just like, Diggs, just answer this riddle, and you can be. That's what it sounds like, as confusing as it's gotten now, especially yesterday with everything else that's coming out about him.
Do you remember your secret handshake from your fraternity?
No. I barely remember the Greek alphabet again, but Delta Epsilon Iota. Do you know it, Aiden? Were you in a fraternity? Do you know the alphabet? He doesn't know it. Did you say everything else that was coming out yesterday?
Yeah, I just mean with like, in general, like, because we got tagged in a bunch, obviously. Slater talking about Diggs and like, oh, rumors need to stop, and Trayvon's got his own version of it, and it's like, all right, well, I mean,
you want to recap her report?
That was her report, basically.
That's it.
And I'm not. That's not a criticism of Jan. That's a direct criticism of like, okay, Trayvon, if that's what you want to communicate to people, don't just say, hey, there's a lot of this that we need to put down, but I'm not going to actually come out here and tell any of you guys what it is.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, well then, it's tough to just take your word for it, bro.
The quote I got on him was, he just doesn't get it. And that's what I'm going with.
He used to.
I'm going with what Jerry said on Tuesday to us about breaking assignments and not being good enough physically or special enough as a player to do that anymore, and he just doesn't get it. And he also just doesn't tell the truth. Like, Schottenheimer told us flat out, I sat down with him on Saturday and told him why he's not playing. And then Diggs after the game is like, I don't know why. No one's told me anything. I don't understand. I don't get it.
But apparently,
who are you going to believe?
So, I mean, I don't know. Apparently, he, because Jane did report that on NFL Network, apparently he said he was told. So I don't know why he's saying he doesn't know. Is that he said he was told that he was making mistakes in practice in cover 2.
We're now going to, and what would that look like from an X's and O's standpoint? What would he be doing incorrectly in cover 2?
So, just in general, it could be a number of things. It could be that he's reading the flat defender wrong. It could be that he's trying to just freelance and he's not actually covering his zone. It could depend on what exactly it is that he's breaking.
Hide the fan text, because we're going to get blamed a little bit for this one. George Pickens on the criticism over the past few weeks, particularly the Detroit game. Quote, everybody has a job to do. Some people's job is to do that. Tear down character. See how many clicks they can get. I'm just here to play football and help the team, but it's starting to get kind of old. And that last part of the sentence will send shivers down the spines of the Pickens picketers, where George is getting sick of the criticism, saying it's getting a little old.
He's trying to stress him out the way Joe Burrow did. Like, guys, this is maybe I could think about a lot of other things. Maybe I could be somewhere else. He didn't say that directly, but he's look. I don't put the blame on him for the Minnesota game. Like I said, I don't. He got taken out of the game, and then the game plan made it difficult to work to him. The Detroit game is still something that I don't like. As much as they said, oh, he's taking accountability for this and that, I still don't like the answers he's given about it.
What's the short? I actually liked his answer when he was asked what has led to the lack of production the last 2 games. He said double coverage. All we can do is just try to execute at a high level. How are teams doubling him, keeping a guy inside, keeping the guy outside, or keeping a guy over the top and having a guy underneath just on one side of the ball? But CD's gone crazy. Flo has gone crazy. And I'm super proud of those guys.
If, are they just going to, are other teams just going to keep flipping back and forth between him and CD? And let's say let's say he signs like a 3-year deal. Because they were doubling CD to start. Now looks like they've switched over to George.
Because George has shown something that he hadn't shown in previous years, which is he's going to make plays, like, consistently. And so because of that, George is the vertical guy. So they're taking away the vertical. They're going, okay, fine. Like, if we got to pick somebody to stop, let's stop the guy who's going 30 yards down the field. Let's stop giving up chunk plays. We'll just need to let's take away that and preach tackling all week on CD.
What do you think is the least amount of years Mulugeta would let them sign for?
Depending on who it is, George is a little bit of a different case. A lot of guys would like to be 3-4 years. George, they might want a little bit more certainty just because of how he can sour on people.
What if it's 3 but hard to get out of after 2? Like so it's almost like a full.
No, I was thinking more
3.
I was thinking more just after that. More like 4, but it's hard to get out of after 3.
Well, I mean, normally with a 24-year-old stud, you want to get back to the market to get the new high. So, because I would like the least amount of years as possible.
Yeah.
I would like, I like a 2-year deal. I like a 3-year deal, something like that. But I'm worried that Mulugeta is going to punish you as much as he can.
I mean, with Micah, he locked him in. Like, he got Micah locked in. He gets a lot of guys locked in to where their deals are triggers for the year after, to where it's like, if you want to let somebody go, you got to make the decision a year in advance, basically, and that's tough for a lot of teams.
Kevin Hagelin, I thought yesterday, he did a phenomenal segment on breaking down the cap and the money that they have to spend based upon Jerry telling us, don't listen to anyone. It's so funny watching Dan Orlovsky try to understand the Cowboys cap. He did it the other day on TV. Bobby, you would have been so happy. Adam Schefter was looking at him like, are you a dumbass?
The boys from 105.3.
Like, what are you? Yeah, they can flip, they can maneuver. And he's like, the 35 over, the 37 over. And Schefter's looking at him like, do you not understand how these things work? And Hagelin basically freed up $70 million. Now you say goodbye to Diggs, Clark, Steele. I believe those were the main players. Even if you bring back Kenny Clark, I think he had about $40 million to play with, factoring in George Pickens' deal. So it was a really good math segment from Hagelin.
Ooh, it'd be tough to say goodbye to Steele in terms of financially.
Yeah.
Even if you post June 1 him, you don't save that much.
And you can manipulate the Pickens contract to kind of end when Dax does.
If he lets you.
If he lets you.
If they let you do that. The big thing would be Diggs saves you some money, but the big one would be Kenny Clark, because Kenny Clark is just such a massive number next year, and none of it's guaranteed. That's why Clark will either get cut or he will have to take a pay cut.